Well, hello there everybody. I am here showing you this week's layout with the beautiful Copper Canyon collection. So I'm really excited about this because Copper Canyon was a secret box last year, the first one of last year, and people went nuts over it. And NCM actually had some more of the paper later on that they had put out for sale, and it went so fast, it was crazy. So I am really happy to say that they are offering us Copper Canyon 2. It's the newest collection out by them, and as a result this beautiful layout was posted on the blog, and of course I had to make it our challenge this week. So I am walking through that and showing you guys. I actually don't have my new Copper Canyon stuff yet. It's actually on the way, but I am using up scraps from my last Copper Canyon, the first one, I guess, and literally that's all I have left of it. I have scraps. So it's just strips. I have no full sheets of this, so it's super funny. And I did buy that twice. I got the paper twice. I got these rub-ons twice, and as you can see, I have a few more of those. And then the really cute embellishments that go with this one. So I haven't seen anyone's in person yet. I'm pretty excited to. It should be coming, I think tomorrow. So I'll have to do a little video about that. And by the time you see this, it'll be like today. But all right, so I'm actually working on some more Mexico. I have a lot of Mexico to get through for when we went to Chichen Itza, which is a really cool ruin, pyramid, the famous pyramid. There's a bunch of them actually in Mexico, which is super funny, and in South America, or Central America. There we go. So it's really neat. I got to go see this with a group of fantastic ladies, and we had one gentleman. We had a couple also part of our group, which was super fun. So I am putting that together, and I had one little remnant left of this foiled paper from Secret Box number 1 this year. It was Celestial Delights, and so I'm using my one little shred of that left to do this. So I was just pulling from everywhere because I really wanted to use the fun stuff that's new, but I didn't have it yet. So I pulled in some scraps I can use up in the meantime. So I'm pretty excited to use up some scraps and show you how you can probably use them up as well. So without further ado, I'm going to get started. Excuse me, I still have a frog in my throat this morning. I'm also using an older, I forget what this one's called. It's like an overlapping circle chain or something like that. So I thought that would be good for this one. I'm going to use that for our borders here. So seem to go with Chichen Itza. So I'm going to have a lot of pages of just Chichen Itza, which is super funny. All right, I'm going to set my rub-ons aside for a moment. And for my base, I'm using, this is discontinued actually, it's medium craft paper, or cardstock I suppose it is. So that's going to be my base. I thought it went really well with the colors of the pyramid. It's just a nice undertone, and your background's actually going to be what's behind these pictures here, so take note of that if you're following along. So step 1 is use a cream watermark designer paper for the base, and that is one of the new Copper Canyon pieces. I think there was one similar to that. Yeah, it's probably this one right here. And this one, but as you can see, like I said, I have all scraps left, so I am just using this guy, which is, close enough for me. And then step 2, cut 4 strips using the Island Waters Molten Lava. I have my gold, or whatever it is, yellow molten lava foiled paper. And you're going to cut these to 12 by 1 inch. So I need 4 of those. And when I was picking this out, I was like, is this 4 inches at least? And it is, so we're good. I'm going to grab my trimmer here. Hopefully everything's on camera. Let me make sure I'm not running off it. Oh yeah, really good. Okay. I started filming these instead of doing lives because it helped me just be a little more flexible in my week. Especially since Lucy started school, I am like, I don't know what's going on every day. It's kind of funny until I get into a better routine. So we're going to cut 4 strips of this, and if you're using it, you can use a designer paper, or you can use some other color cardstock. It doesn't really matter. I just really wanted to use the foiled on this, and I'm going to have one little shred of this left. Yeah, Lucy's actually home today, She has a migraine, so I'm like, yay, you inherited your mother's migraine genes. I'm so sorry. So we're gonna see if she feels better later and take her to school. So I told her no tablet or screens because I'm like, that's the worst thing for a migraine. All right, so we have our 4 strips here. And I'm just looking at this layout and I'm seeing how they put it on there, but before I arrange everything, I'm obviously going to cut my other stuff first because I want to see how it's going to look, because that's how I am. Very visual person. So next is step 3. We're going to cut 2 strips. It says from the brown pattern designer paper to measure 12 by 1. So you're going to need 2 of those. So what you're layering your like half borders on. So I was pulling from all things here and found, you know, this one. I just have a bunch of strips here I could use. Since I only need 2, I don't know why I pulled so many. I apparently didn't read that very well. And I was debating if I wanted to go. I think I want to go this teal side, just because I think it will help accentuate my pictures a little better. So I could go brown. I think I'm gonna matte on brown now. So I think I'm gonna go with the teal side. But I have a couple of those. I have this different texture. Actually, that might be the same one. It is. Yeah. That's funny. It looks so different from there. These are all the same. And then I have this one, which I'm not sure I like as much. I think I like that deeper teal look more. So I'm going to set that one aside. So I just grabbed a couple to kind of gauge what I needed. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to also cut these. I need 2 of these at 1 inch by 12. So I'm going to line it up on 1 inch. There's one. And they look so much bigger on there. It's scary. I'm like, oh, did I cut it wrong? And I find I'm always double checking my numbers because it always just looks so different to me. They're so much smaller. Okay, and there's 2. All right, so there are those. I should just keep my trimmer fairly close. Okay, and then it says rotate between the 2 different strips along the top of the layout, then place 1 foil strip along the bottom edge. So I'm going to need my tape runner for this, which of course I didn't plan ahead and make sure I had one. That is the vellum one. I had this problem last time. There we go. That one's a good one. I have all these like random tape runners lying around because I taught a class. And I'm like, how do I have all these right now? So this one's a little more foiled. I don't think it really matters though. I'm just gonna, oops, this is a new one. It's came out fast. You can tell when they're running out because they get a little stiffer at the end, at least to me. I don't know. It's not every tape runner, I suppose. You're just gonna line this up along the top here. Like so. All right, and then you're gonna place one of your 2. So this is gonna look a little confusing because I'm using teal for the brown on there. So and the other side's teal. So just note that their teal is my brown. Or I'm sorry, their brown is my teal. Oh my goodness. So then I'm gonna do my teal one. The point is just put your 2 strips between some of the ones that are your 4 strips. Like that. And I need another one of these. Oops. That one came out, and when they're new, they tend to roll a little more. So just dab it on if you can. It's my tip with the tape runner. Sometimes they like to come flying out. And then when that happens, you just crank your crank a little bit because it pulled out so much it took off the whole segment. Here we go. The trick is to twist your wrist, and I know I've been using it forever and I forget to do that sometimes, so I just kind of keep pulling until it comes off, and that makes it go more. So twist your wrist. That's the point of breaking that segment off that you want. Okay, and then we do one more of these. Twist the wrist. Yeah, and even I, who has been scrapbooking since high school, forgets to do that sometimes, so no worries, I get it. You just get in your habit, or whatever's comfortable for you. If it works for you, do it. It doesn't have to be a twist of the wrist. If you have a different trick, I say go for it. Okay. But sometimes when these ones are brand new and want to keep rolling, I have to twist my wrist. Excuse me, my goodness, it's early, so I haven't said a whole lot of words today. So you guys are the first ones I've talked to, other than my daughter and my husband, I guess, briefly this morning. Okay, so there we go. We have our basic, like, base done now. And then step 5, adhere the arcs border stickers. They used a border sticker, actually, along the top of the brown strips, and we're going to go on the top of our teal strips. So I got to figure out, this is the part I never plan ahead. I'm like, what color do I want to punch those out on? I was thinking just white, but I'm like, maybe I want to do brown? Yeah, I think I want to do white. So, and of course, did I grab a white piece of cardstock? No. But I have tons. I was cleaning out because I'm doing a cardstock buffet at my Croptoberfest this weekend. Yay. Shout out to those who are coming. Super excited. And so I went through a ton of packs of cardstock and pulled out these sheets, and now I have all these scraps. So these are perfectly fine to punch out on, to use like as mats. So I save these and I use them, so don't just throw them away. You can actually use those as like a bonus sheet of paper. So obviously you don't want to use this side unless you want to get really creative. In fact, in one of my videos I cut little circles out from each of these just to have different patterns. So when I punch this, I'm probably going to try to go along, obviously along one of the bottom or top edges, which I'll have to do anyway. So I'm going to set this aside for a moment and get my border maker. I'm hoping I can get away with just, let's see, hoping I can punch one of these and cut it in half, but we'll have to see how that goes. I might have to punch 2 and then just kind of tuck it. We'll see how easy that is to do, but it's one of those things where we're going to try it and see what happens. So, alright, I'm going to make sure I go along an edge here that I'm not going to need later. I love the border maker. It is one of my favorite tools. Whoops. I'm using lighter paper, so I have to be a little gentler. Apparently one of the segments got hung up in there. There we go. I'm using lighter paper, so it's being a little more sticky. There we go. Just doing that, try pulling out and then putting it back in. Don't slide it, because I have, especially the new leaf ones, that has little segments in it that tend to get caught easier. So when you slide it, you end up ripping it. So you want to be gentle, slide it in, slide it out, instead of sliding down, you know. So see if that works for you. If it's being persnickety, and a lot of those detailed ones tend to be. So I'm gonna clear my base here. Let's see. I have to work on a clean surface. I'm going to keep my border maker handy in case I need to punch another one. Okay, I'm going to try, I don't know, maybe I should just do 2. It might just be easier. I'm going to do 2. I don't want to run the risk of cutting it too far in half. Plus that's going to be difficult to cut in half, that narrow of a piece. I do have a trick for that, but I might as well just punch 2. So it's scrap paper anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. So yes, you're gonna pull out and then plug back in. Instead of sliding, it tends to get caught easier. See, I just did it and then I got caught. So this one's got a little more detail in the center. Oops. So that's my tip. It's a great tool, you just have to treat it nicely. Okay, and that's when I just pull up this little piece if it's being obnoxious. Just gonna line it up, there we go. Just be gentle, be patient. With any of these tools, you really need to be patient with them. They're here to serve you, but don't abuse them. Now, if you have one that's totally defective, reach out to customer service. They are amazing. Okay. I'm gonna save this sheet for another day. You can see that already being like a fun fall order, or fun fall potential there. All right, I'm gonna bring this back over. These I'm gonna use for matting, so that's why these are sticking around for a minute. Okay. Too much going on over here. All right, so I'm going to get my silicone mat. They do not have this anymore. I'm hoping it comes back at some point because I have many customers that want one. Simply because they're easy to use and they're great for, you know, sticking on with your repositional. There we go. Again, I did not come prepared. So here's my repositional. I love this because it just rolls on and it'll just stick to the paper. It won't, so you can see like the little dots on my silicone mat. It does not stick to it. It just leaves little dots. So if you don't have a silicone mat, you can use this on your regular mat and you will get some dots on there. They'll just rub right off. So I love this tape runner. I think it's necessary for my adhesive arsenal, as I like to call it. Okay, so this is where it's tricky. I'm gonna need to pull this up slightly and I'm gonna need a multi-purpose tool to do that. Where to go? Oh goodness. I use my multi-purpose tool all the time. Sometimes it gets put in the wrong place when I'm done. Okay. So, I gotta find an in here. I love this tool because it just lifts right up. You just slide along like a spatula. So I'm just gonna pull this whole thing up because in hindsight, I probably should have just done this first. I didn't realize they were using, I guess I did know they were using border stickers, but it's just gonna be easier for you to layer this on and then cover it with this piece again. And then you're just gonna line this up like you did before. So if you're watching this and not going along, just take note if you do it this way. Maybe do your border pieces first and then layer this on, which I have a hard time lining things up. And right here, it's kind of a crucial line up. Okay, here we go. And then I'm gonna do that again. I'm gonna first put my adhesive on here. I'm just kind of doing every other circle here. You want to make sure you get the ends really good. Okay, and then again, I'm going to take my multi-purpose tool. So many tools I love that I get to use today. I love this multi-purpose tool and my border maker and repositional. Okay, and it pulls it up like nothing. And look at that, it's amazing. Just takes a little work to. Patience. That's our theme of the day. Patience. It takes patience. Don't just. I know we all want to be efficient scrapbookers, but certain things should be patient with. So, and those are a couple of things. Okay, and I'm gonna line this back up. Excellent. Very pretty. Okay. So there is our border pieces. How exciting. I'm gonna put this back over here. I gotta clean up my space a little bit. It's driving me nuts. I'm gonna put my trim over here. Okay, so here we have our base. It's coming along nice. Grab my instructions again. Let's see. We are on step 6. Cut photo mats from the brown pattern designer paper to measure. We need one that is 4.5 by 6.5, and then 2 mats that are 3.5 by 3.5. So, oh, I'm sorry. So this is one we're talking about, and these are the other 2. And then this one, I don't know if I'll do them all the same color. I haven't quite decided yet. And then that last one is 6.5 by 4.5. So it's the same size, just turned. So here's what I have. I have scraps, y'all. It's fun. So I know my squares are going to be made out of these. I think I'm going to do them all in brown because I feel like that's just going to pop off this layout best. And brown's what I have to work with. Now the other side is more of a roughed up teal. And I could use that. So what I'm probably going to do is cut all my mats and then decide, as you can see I did some tearing before, and then decide which ways I want to go with them. So I need just 3.5 by 3.5. Man, that looks, oh, I'm at 3, no wonder. I was like, it still looks really small. Maybe I should trim my photos first. I like to know exactly what size my photos are going to be. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to trim these, get my photo trimmer. So these I don't need to trim, I don't think. not at the moment. So it's hard to see, but in this there's like rock sculptures in there, imprints, so to speak. It was cool but very creepy at the same time. So it was fun. It was cool to see some of the Mayan heritage, but just some of the customs they had, I was like, oh, like, it's so creepy. So yeah, that was intriguing. I'm trying to figure out where to cut this one so I can still see. I don't need the whole thing, obviously. I want this 3x3, right? Yes, because my mats are. I want to go right there. 3x3. Looks so tiny. Okay. Yeah, it's hard to crop down photos sometimes. And then they would have this game where they would take this ball, actually, it was rubbery, and they made all this from stuff, you know, naturally, because it was, you know, way back in the day. And they would bounce this ball through this thing. It wouldn't even like throw it. They would have to bounce it or something. And I was just like, what? So we got to touch that ball and watch it bounce and stuff. So very heavy too. I was shocked how heavy it was. So it's very intriguing culture. Just one that I'm like, you know, like, yeah, it was cool to do. I just, man, I just walked away with some shivers down my spine. But definitely a huge experience to do, and I loved it. When in Mexico, you got to do it. All right, so I know I want this 3.5 by 3.5 for sure. I want to make sure my photos were actually going to be that small. Sometimes I cheat and make them not that small. I want to like make them a little bigger or something. Oh yeah, that'll be just fine. And my other square is going to cut out of this. I am using the scraps up. That's what we're doing. 3.5, right? Just going to cut this right off, and I think that's going away. Freedom from that. And then 3.5. It's so hard, oops, to part with scraps from a collection that I left. I didn't push down all the way there. Okay, so there we go. And then this is the part where it's gonna be tricky because I need a 4.5 by 6.5, and I have a torn edge on one edge. So what I'm gonna do is go to 4.5 on this side. I'm hoping this works. Okay, if not, I'm gonna have to come up with another mat of some sort. That looks really narrow. It's probably not gonna work for both of them. By 6.5. Oops. There's one. I'm thinking this one's gonna be too small. Yep, it's not. It's not even 4. So, okay. So what I could do is still use it and trim down my photo. So let's just see what we're working with here before I go too far. I actually like this brush teal the more I look at it, but I feel like it gets lost. So, I could trim this one down for sure. Let's see. I am a lay it out and see what we have type of girl, so that's what I'm doing. All right, and I think I could put the brush teal over here. I don't know. I feel like I need to mix the colors up, but maybe I don't need to mix the colors up at the same time. I think brown's fine. I feel like it gets lost, so I think we're going to go all brown. So for this one, kind of guessing on the size here, but normally it'd be a 4x6 photo there. I'm going to probably trim this down and do like a, let's see, how big is this strip? That's what's gonna matter here. It's just under 4, so I'm probably gonna do like a 3.5 by 6 is what's gonna happen here. So again, I'm gonna get my photo trimmer. 3.5, and that will actually help hone this photo in better, I feel, so that's okay. So we're gonna work with it. I'm forcing these scraps to work for me. Super funny. Yeah, I always say it, like, just because the instructions say you have to have a certain size doesn't mean you have to have that size. If it can work with your photos and you need it to work differently, go for it. It does not matter. It is your layout ultimately, so you do with it as you need it. to work for. All right, so let's see what we got here now. Now that I have everything together. Okay, so that's all brown, which is totally fine. Or I could flip this one. I'm having a hard time with that. I don't know why. I feel like I want to have a different color there, but I don't know if it's gonna work for me. It does pop with that shirt though. I think I want all brown. It is a hard call. I think either one looks nice, but I think I want all brown. So that's what I'm going with. You guys are probably split right down the middle too in the comments. Tell me what color you liked. But I'm not gonna change it, so. Okay, once it's on paper and it's glued down, we are sticking with it. Haha, no pun intended. That's funny though, it came out that way. Okay, then I'm gonna layer these. I kind of look at the instructions to know how I want to layer these, just because sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't know what looks good. And I'm actually layering opposite of what they have, but that's okay. Okay. It's a lot of adhering at this point when you're matting photos and putting them down. Gotta remember to twist that wrist, twist the wrist. Okay, so I want this about here. And we'll put this guy about right here. Perfect. All right, so there we go. Everything's on there. I also have rub-ons. I was going to show you guys kind of how to use those. I love the rub-ons. I used rub-ons back in the day when they were like so, they just felt very plasticky to me. And I had, a lot of them worked fine, but I had some that would, you know, not work well and this and that. So the key to using rub-ons is not to take it from the center. If you're going to take it from the center, you need to cut it out. So any of these I would cut out to use. So I have a few that are scraps here that I had left over from other things. So I'm going to grab my scissors. I actually want to use this little splotch here. I'm not sure I'll do all these on camera, but I'm going to do at least one to show you guys. So the key is to cut it out, and then you're going to peel it up very gently, and then you're going to kind of place it where you want it, and I kind of want it right here. Okay, and then you're going to take your multi-purpose tool or something to rub with. I have sticky on mine. Okay. You can use a point, just be very gentle. I haven't done this in a while, and of course I chose, you know, a camera to do it on. And you're just going to keep rubbing until it comes off. And that might take a minute or so. Just want to make sure you get all of those. You're just transferring, essentially. My hand's probably in the way, I'm sorry. I was just making sure it wasn't going to slide on me. So, and I'm not pushing overly hard. I'm just pushing hard enough that hopefully it's rubbing off on the page, hence the name rub-on. I might need, can't remember if the last time I used just my multi-purpose tool. Another thing that would be good for this is, if you remember the bone folder that came with the envelope and bow system, that would be good to do this with too. I don't know if I'd use scissors. I think that might cut it. And then to check it, I'm just going to kind of peel it back. Oh, it looks like it's working. Oh yeah. I'm just going to kind of test an edge of it. Look at that, transferred right on. So they're pretty easy to do. You just got to be patient. So that's the theme of the day, patience. So I think I'm going to do another one. I know, it's just a very rustic feel. I wanted this Chichen Itza is funny because it's just like dirt and it's hot. But it was also very cool. And so I wanted to do a page that was, you know, and it worked well with Copper Canyon because Copper Canyon's got that cool rustic feel to it. So I'm going to do this one. I don't know if I want to go shiny on shiny. I'm not sure. I do know I want to do another one though, just to show you guys. Put this one here maybe. And again, you're just going to stick it on there and rub. And it's going to be a little scary at first because you're going to see it kind of peel back in some spots, especially when edges that go overlap. Sorry, my words are very minced today. But the cool thing about rub-ons is they transfer over many layers, so I think that's really neat. Like obviously a sticker does that too, but rub-ons, like you can still see that texture of the corner of the photo and the corner of the cardstock. So it just adds a different way to add like flair to your page. So it's just another way to embellish, which I love that we have options for that. Again, I'm going to test. Yep. So you're going to slowly peel it back and you'll see it stick. You're like, okay, but do it slowly. That way you can see there's nothing left on there. That way if a piece did get left because you didn't rub it enough, you can quickly put it back down and try again. So you don't want to go because then you're probably like, oh, and then it might peel up the whole thing. So just be patient. Patience is our word today. I like these little stars too. Might do a couple of those, but I don't want to keep you guys. So there is the beginnings of my final page. So I really love those rub-ons. I love that metallic-y look that they provide for my page. I think that's really neat. Yeah, the Copper Canyon is just gorgeous. So I'm really excited to get the part 2 and just compare them, see what they look like. They look very similar. So this is what I did with mine, and it's great for things like this, for like, you know, I don't have a collection for Chichen Itza, so I use things like this for that, or like things like the denim are great for the anything collection. So yeah, I hope you guys like this. I hope this was informative for you. I hope it helped with rub-ons and other tools. But if you guys have any questions, you can always reach out, comment in the comments. If you don't follow my YouTube, please like and subscribe. Share it with your friends who also scrapbook or might be thinking about scrapbooking. I am here to show you my love for this. So that's what my goal is. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. Hope you have a great rest of your day.